Like, what was the difference in the second half of this game, much like the first game?
Yeah, I just think it was the energy. And that energy in the first half, for whatever reason, wasn't there. In the second half, we picked it up. That was the same occurrence in the first game. And to beat a good team like that, you have to have energy for the full 40 minutes and compete the whole 40 minutes. And we didn't do that in the first half, and that's how we got behind.
How do you account for that?
I was just getting our mind right before the game, I guess. I don't really know. I'm myself. I'm not everyone else, but we just have to come out in the first 20 minutes and compete. There's been a lot of times we've gotten down in the first half this year and fought our way back, and that's not what great teams do. They compete and fight the whole 40 minutes. We just can't dig ourselves in a hole.
Backbreaking, you guys would cut it to like 5, and then they just come down and hit a 3. It seemed like every time.
Yeah, they're obviously they have a lot of good shooters on their team. They're hitting a lot of tough shots in the second half, but we just tried to fight our way back in the game. It's all we could do. We didn't get the stops we needed to finally tie the game and take the lead, but yeah, they just hit a bunch of good shots.
You got 3-point shooting. Seems like it's been pretty hit or miss here lately. Is it good in practice, just not showing up in the games? What do you see out there?
Yeah, I think we're all confident in our shots. It's just the fact that if they go in or not, I think is the biggest thing. Obviously, we've hit 23s in a game this year, so we know our potential in that aspect. And I just think we gotta get guys where they're good at with the ball and catch and shoot situations, and get guys in the right spots. But I think we're a good shooting team. We just hit a little slump these last couple games, but I think we'll be fine.
Does he want to come back in first half? I mean, I know that's how Fran usually operates, but
Yeah, obviously.
talk to him at all?
Obviously, you want to go back in the game in the first half, but obviously I got a couple fouls. But yeah, I mean, as a competitor, you want to stay in the game. I feel like I can stay without fouling, but he's a head coach for a reason, and I respect anything that he does.
Okay, thanks, Keegan.
Thanks.
Get the nod to start the second half. Felt like that group was in there for a long time, was able to cut the lead to single digits. What did you see from that group with you in there?
That intensity, we preached at halftime, just bringing more intensity to a game like this. And that group, we showed a lot of grit and toughness, I thought, and that comeback is kind of similar to last time we played them. We just needed to complete it this time. We were close. I had a layup that I should have just dunked. I think it would have cut it to 3. But no, that group brought a lot of toughness and helped us get back into the game.
What do you think the difference was for you in the second half, leading the team in scoring?
Just playing with a lot of confidence. I have been. It's been rising this whole season, and I think I'm at like the peak right now. Playing with a lot of confidence. There's not a lot of people that I feel like can guard me, especially since I have a mismatch at the 5. So it's always be a mismatch. I'm going to get open looks. I just have to knock them down.
Your brother was just in here and said the energy in the first half wasn't there. Would you concur with him?
Yeah, I'd say for a game like that, like this, we need to bring more energy, especially in the first half. They're getting open threes, layups. We can't let that happen.
Why do you think it does happen? What can you do to avoid that from happening again?
I think it's just a miscommunication. Just not defensively. In the first half, I feel like we weren't connected. When to double, and we just kind of left all their shooters open.
How frustrating was that? I mean, you talked about the missed layup that you had to cut it to 3, but every time you guys got it to 5, it seemed like they just hit a 3 when they went down the next trip.
Yeah, credit to them. I mean, they hit big shot after big shot to help them extend the lead. And yeah, that layup, I mean, that's point blank. I can't miss those. But yeah, they hit big shots. I mean, credit to them. So.
You guys feel like you got that game inside of you, like where you're just hitting everything from 3 right now? It doesn't seem like a lot of guys are hitting from 3.
I say that again. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. They hit a ton from 3. You guys haven't had one of those games in Big Ten play where you're just spraying them from 3, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'd say it's just kind of moving without the ball, getting more driving kicks, more cuts to bring in the defense. I think that's kind of we've been a little bit stagnant in our offense, and I think that's kind of why we haven't been shooting well, because a lot of them have been contested. and we should get more movement in that, and that's what created a lot of open looks earlier in the season, so we should get back to that.
When it comes to those back and forth halves like in the second, how do you come out on top when you have one team opening the door, the other team closing it with made shot after made shot?
Yeah, it's just be more locked in defensively, I would say. Not locked in, but just recognize the shooters, especially in that moment, like who's going to hit those shots. And I think we left the wrong people open. We had a couple of them that were contested. They were tough shots to make. They're big shots. But no, yeah, we can't flip-flop, especially in those situations. We have to get those stops at that point in the game.
All right, thanks.
Fran, much like the first game, you guys fell behind, but you made another comeback that fell short. What was the difference in the first and second half from your view?
You know what, Pat? I just didn't think we played. I don't think we competed in the first half the way you have to compete to beat a team of this caliber. And that doesn't mean we didn't play hard. You have to play hard. You have to be connected. You have to pay attention to the game plan. And we were late on stuff, and then we tried to do it all on our own offensively. And we're not a team that has 10 assists and 24 baskets. So everybody then tries to go one-on-one. So in the second half, our defense was way better. Our press, our half-court defense, and our offense. We got into the bonus, I think, by the 11-minute mark. So we're driving the ball, multiple penetration. I mean, that's the way we have to play in order to beat that team. If you are late, like, they're going to score. They're just too good. They have too many weapons. It's not like you can zero in on one or two guys. Okay, if we shut these two, it's everybody. Everybody they have is a veteran guy who can score. So it takes a team to be more connected than we were. But we were. And we had a great look at a three, with a great play set, would have cut it to three, after being down 18. So, you're proud of the guys, for fighting the way they did. But then you're disappointed because, they know better, so hopefully we'll learn from it.
How do you explain that? I mean, you've coached, I don't know how many games. Are there some times when it just happens and you don't really be able to explain it?
It's always disappointing when it happens, Mike. Sometimes you can feel it coming. Sometimes it just happens. At some point you got to give your opponent credit too. Like they were ready to go. They came out ready. They jumped us a little bit, and then I think we were, like I said, we were a little bit too much. All right, I'm going to go we need to make a play, so I'm going to go do it. We're going to go do it. It's not I'm going to go do it. And that's exactly what we did in the second half. The way we attack their defense in the second half is the only way you can beat them. If you try to do what we did in the first half, you're not going to beat them, period.
What are your thoughts on what Kris brought to the table in the second half, stepping in for Phillip?
I thought Kris was great the whole game. I mean, he had to play a lot. Keegan was in foul trouble. He, of course, then got his second. Phillip tweaked his ankle. So we just kind of left him out there. And I just thought his aggressiveness at both ends was really good. And just to see him playing, with that level of comfort and confidence is really important for him and for us.
Did you think about putting Keegan back in the first half?
Yeah, no, I didn't. And
He says he
then
wants to come in those situations.
Well, yeah, but I mean, he gets his third right away, and then I left him in. So if now if he gets another one, and all of a sudden he's got four, now he's got to sit for 14 minutes. He gets his third. I just keep playing because he was good in the second half. We needed him to be better. He was. You say, oh, he had an off game. He had 14 and 9. It's pretty good. I mean, the kid did a lot of good things. He's going defending guys in some cases that are a lot bigger than him, but he was good.
Fran, you always, earlier in the season, you talked about Kris playing through mistakes. He missed the layup. You say he should have dunked it, but I think a minute later he came right down and hit another big shot for you.
Well, that's the first thing we all said to him. Myself, just you got. We're all everybody in the building. Like, why didn't you just dunk it? You got to forget that and just come back. And I'm not taking you out. We're leaving you in. You're playing great. Hits a huge three right after that. I think that was really important for him. You know, I mean, he was attacking. He was open. He was making plays, and when he's doing that, we're better.
Kris said something kind of interesting, good observation. I thought he said the ball movement hasn't been maybe as crisp as you'd like. I mean, think about.
Well, it wasn't in the first half. It was terrible,
Yeah, I mean,
but it wasn't. It was better in the second half.
I guess to create open looks for the 3-point shooter.
For everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, teams are defending you a certain way. They're defending Keegan a certain way. They're defending Jabo a certain way. And, they watch film too, so they're setting up their defense to play guys certain ways. So, you got to adjust. Thanks, guys.
Now,